Go on.
Okay,
Get
my
started.
weekend. Yes, ma'am. My weekend was very hectic.
Oh, oh my
Yes,
God.
ma'am. Yes, ma'am. Because my husband invited some of his friends for
Oh my
dinner.
God.
So
Then I
whole
must
day,
have
all
understood.
Saturday, I was busy, and
Oh my God.
on Sunday there is Pitra Moksha Amavasya. So some rituals I had to done some rituals. That is why I was busy in Sunday also. So my whole weekend is hectic at home.
It was pretty busy. Pretty. Okay, Geeta ji, you're there. Hi.
Yes, ma'am.
How are you?
Good, ma'am.
How was your weekend, huh? I always like to
Uh,
talk to you. That kind
not,
of question.
ma'am, nothing special because there is exams of my son.
Oh, okay. So you were just making him prepare, that's all.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, fine. In which class your child studies?
Ma'am, my daughter is in 12th and my son is in 8th class.
You're able to teach eighth class? It's standard. You're able to take all the subjects.
No, ma'am. He's going to tuition only English and Hindi,
Okay.
computer.
Okay.
That subjects. Yeah.
In general. Okay. Hi, Neetu ji. How are you?
Fine, ma'am. How are you?
Yeah, feeling fine now. Okay, Neetu ji. How was your weekend?
Yes, ma'am.
How was your weekend? Because I have asked everyone. You were late. How has your weekend
My,
gone?
my weekend, nothing special. Mm, As usual, mhm, exams are going on.
Okay, so you were just into that. You're making preparing yourself also. Oh.
Yes.
Anita ji has not entered yet, but we are starting the class, okay? Because we have to do some important work. All of you, please be on mute because I'll be dictating something and you'll be listening to me. All of you, please be on mute. Am I clearly audible? Am I clearly audible? Just mention yes or no and then mute yourselves.
Yes.
Great.
Yes.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, great. Fine. Okay, fine. So today, I'll be dictating a paragraph. All right. You need to listen, but before listening, I would like to mention something related to that. Basically, this paragraph, which I am going to start, is belonging to that kind of grammar in which we use would, could, were. Like if I were a teacher, right? We have understood this thing that if you're using if, agar start ho raha hai sentence if se. So after the subject, we will only and only use were. If I were. Do I look really weird that if I were, what kind of sentence is that? But these sentences are called subjunctive mood statements. These are subjunctive mood statements. I'll be writing down the spelling later on. So basically, this subjunctive mood statements are those statements in which we use if I were, if he were, if she were, if it were, if and then singular noun, if my child were, like that. So always do keep this in mind that whenever you're using if, you have to use auxiliary verb as were. All right. Now, what is the reason behind it? Why am I starting with this paragraph? Because today I'll be asking the rapid questionnaire in that form itself. If you would, I'll be asking such kind of questions. But before that, I'll be speaking up a paragraph so that you'll be able to understand that what kind of statements are used while speaking. Okay. So my topic is if I were a teacher. If I were to become a teacher, the first step I would take to make teaching more interesting and fun filled so that students would be attentive in class. I would give my students their space of imagination and thoughts so that they learn to think and implement for the betterment in a situation of crisis. I would stand by them. I would stand by them during their ups and downs as it becomes a moral responsibility of a teacher to understand their students well. Most importantly, never overestimate or underdetermine or underestimate a student, as each student is unique in their own way, and hence give them their own space of understanding. If I were to become a teacher, I would teach. I repeat, if I were a teacher, I would teach my students to communicate well. It is the gadgets and softwares that they should learn to communicate with, but the basic methods of talking and getting to understand and feel each other's emotions. An understanding person is a good human being for both the society and the nation too. Okay, so do not unmute, just listen one more thing. Basically, when we use if I were sentences or sentences which contain would, such kind of sentences continue with your simple present tense. Most of the times, 99% your simple present tense is used when you're using would type of paragraphs or when you're conversating in English and you're using would in your sentences. So keep this in mind. Today I'll be asking you a lot of questions, all right? Imaginatory questions, of course, the way we have done that rapid questionnaire few days ago. So we are going to do the same. For 45 minutes, minimum 45 minutes, we'll be just talking about all that. And please, the way you have given the answers from that day, like it was crisp, but it was valuable. It contained a lot of words. It included a lot of words. So I really want you to speak brief, not lengthy, but to be on the point. And it should be imaginative, of course. All right. So am I clear? Now tell yes or no, all of you.
Yes, ma'am.
All right. Great. Great. Geeta ji and Amita ji, am I clear?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So I'm opening that. All right. The first question is, what would you do if you had one day, one day left to live? Okay. What would you do if you had one day left to live? That is your question. Neeraj is smiling now. Something is running in her mind. She's cooking up something.
Ma'am, please repeat the question.
Sure. What would you do? आप क्या करोगी if you had one day left to live? रहने के लिए सिर्फ एक दिन बचा है जीने के लिए. So what would you do on that? And if people are going to take the initiative yourself, that who is going to start? Because I really don't know that who has thought of it. Of course, you need the time. You're welcome.
Uh, if I were one day left for live, first I spend my mostly time with my father because I could I, yeah I can't go there. No, I